Yo, JD here, and as you can see, this is the first round of the brand new AOR Season 15, and I chose a Ferrari for this season because this is the one I really wanted. If I could have had a choice for the previous one, I would have chosen this car. Really get along with this, and China is a very good track for me. It performed very well in the esports qualification race we did last year, and in AOR I think it came third last time out in this, but hoping for a good result. Kind of unexpected really, because I did a fair decent amount of practice during the week, but on the Sunday I actually came back at 7:30 when the race is at 8, so I only managed to get in one quali run throughout the whole weekend. Managed to point 8 in that, but the rest of the pace felt pretty good, so I was hoping for a good result here. As you probably noticed at the moment, I am on the controller for this. Reason is because I just feel more confident on the controller around this track. Around next track, I think Bahrain, pretty sure I'll be on the wheel. Most of the tracks I will be on the wheel, but for this one I've always just feel more confident on the controller. Although I know the tyre wear is a factor at the end of races. We almost, you can see on our qualifying that we had quite a few distractions on our lap so far, and had to we weren't 100% on the throttle, so we definitely lost a little bit of time through that corner there. It was a bit unfortunate, but the lap itself is still feeling pretty good. But yeah, as I was saying, wheel for most of the tracks here, but for this I just feel really strong on the control of my racecraft and everything as well, and just the consistency towards the end of the race on the mediums. The wheel definitely has the advantage, which we'll be able to see later on, but I wasn't really thinking that at all. I was just thinking of just really getting a good round under my belt after not being able to compete in the first round. This is the start of my season, and just doing the best as I can. As you may be able to hear a few clicks in the background, that's actually because NRR Evo, my teammate, is in the same party as me. My mic is muted so you can't hear me, but that's the reason why you can hear that. But you can see that lap there, a 32.0, that was only enough for P9, and to be honest, the lap, I think I got held slightly in the middle sector, had a few little distractions. My PB is a 7, normally hitting an 8, so I wasn't too displeased with that, but now it's just really crucial that we really get a good start here. So we've got P1R Brown next, just a new guy in the league here, so we're going to let him have the inside, and we're going to take the outside route, try and go the long way around, as everyone seems to really queue up on the inside. Let's see how many positions we can make up. So we've already gone round the outside of P1R Brown, so that's one position already. We've got Alonso and my good friend VSR Simon ahead of us here, as they seem to be banging wheels just a little bit, so we're just going to let them leave it to it, save a bit of fuel. Got plus 3 laps of fuel on board here, so just really thinking of the long game and managing to maintain our 8th place we just made up at the start here. Did 1 lap in qualifying, so tyres aren't too warm, so we could really push it quite a bit in this first stint if we want to. Is now Alonso's got ahead of Simon. So Simon, he's gone to the outside. We're going to spot the opportunity. He's gone down the inside here, hugging to the apex. He actually turns in on us a little bit, but we still managed to stink through, and now that's 2 positions in space of a half of a lap, just before the sector 3 split. And we're going to come into this now. Alonso now ahead of us, and Simon, who's very, very quick, probably is one of the quickest pad drivers on the game. And his esports qualification race, well, in the qualifying, he came 3rd in the wet round here, so he's absolutely rapid round here. So fairly conscious of him, but it seems to be dropping back a little slightly, so we've got some breathing room to attack Alonso, and no real threat from behind at this point. We're using 1.9 wings, I believe, so 1.9 wings with like 10 ballast. I could have gone for a more progressive set, like 1.7 with 10, but I didn't really have a chance to warm up for this race. As I say, I only did 1 quali session on the day, and just felt you need a good 2 or 3 sessions to really kick into it. So I went a little bit conservative with the setup, and now looking back at it and the feeling of it, it was a little bit understeered. As you can see here, it's just the front end, it's always wanting to wash away, so we could have maybe gone down to about 1.7 wing or something, but still it provides really good traction, and the straight line speed is still going to be pretty good as well. As you can see now in the DRS of Alonso and Cyril Hamilton, managed to pull away from Simon, so he's dropping back from us now, and we're just going to wait for this battle as Alonso goes down the inside of Hamilton, and they actually come together really badly, and I think someone has lost a bit of their wing. I think that must be Alonso, who's got a little bit of wing damage there. So now I'm going to see this as a really big opportunity, try not to cut this corner, which we do nicely. DRS, rich mix now with the 1 front wing, as Hamilton, I think he's trying to say sorry to Alonso or something there, but we're going to go down the inside here. Alonso, fair play to him, he actually leaves us a space, so we're going to go down the inside, so that's now into 6th place now, making up 3 positions. Hamilton seems to be struggling as well. So see how quickly we can get onto him, because I can see Lockdown, the place for 4th is not that far away, and even the podium's not that far away from here. So we're going to try and get past Hamilton as soon as possible. We will brake really late for this corner, but Hamilton, I think he could sense I was probably going to go for that move, so he broke really late as well. Again, keeping our fuel in check quite nicely, so still got 3 and a bit laps of fuel still after doing 4 laps of the race now. And looks out Hamilton, I don't know if he's got wing damage, but he seems to be really struggling through these corners. Maybe he did 2 laps on his tyres or the surf or something as well, as my phone is now actually starting to ring. But now, going back to the race now, 100 meter board, 3rd gear through this, as Hamilton again, he seems to be going a little bit straight on here. 3rd gear come off here, trying to get a really good slingshot, so let him go a little bit wide. You can see a really good exit off here now. We're even going to be alongside him before the DRS activation point. I think we're probably just about level with him. 8th gear, DRS now. And this should be a fairly comfortable pass. We're going to hold it to the middle of the track just in case he decides to go back down the inside, but going back to the outside again to give us a really good exit coming onto here, which we do quite nicely. And now let's see this. 5th gear, 6th gear, 4th gear into coming to this last corner, trying to get a good exit of this, as looks like Hamilton's gone a little bit wide, so the threat into turn 1 seems to be not on the cards now. So we're going to try and focus on catching Cairo Lockdown, who's driving a really good race. He's someone who's definitely on this game has had a lot of pace. I just don't think he really has put it together when it mattered, or the consistency. But now looks like he's got that for this race. But so we're going to try and really put him under pressure now. I know the pace feels really good, especially on the super soft tyre. We're going to try and catch him. The gap's like 2 seconds. We're going to try and catch him and see, as someone has just, I think that's either Reynolds, just drove straight after us or over us, and we can see why now. We're on board P1R Brown, and actually it was P1R Brown, I'm sorry, and we'll be able to see what actually happened there, because I thought my race almost ended there. You can see me lift off the throttle when that happened. So he's coming out of this corner here. Doesn't seem to be near any cars, but if you look to the left, VSR Simon's actually gone on the grass, and now he's come back across him, and he's just completely taken them out. I don't know what happened there with Simon. I haven't seen his on board. I don't know if he defended too late last minute, or he clipped the grass and then lost the car and then hit Brown. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. In 5th place now, we're going to try and catch Lockdown. So said he's actually gone into the pits. We actually started to close on them ever so slightly. I think we got the gap to under 2 seconds. As Evo, you'll be able to hear, he's in the party chat, he actually sped in the pit lane. So he's now got a stop-go penalty, which he didn't actually serve. So that means he's got I think a 10-second penalty at the end of the race now, which is really unfortunate hit for him and our team as well, because we want to win. Not only one of us wants to win the driver's title, we want to win the constructor's title as well, which is, I have won that. I've won that in AOR at least. I won a constructor's title with Red Bull with Matty G, so try and get 2 on the list, despite not winning one, which I'm forever trying to do. Yeah, at least we can try and go for that, at least for this race, try and get the most points for that. But coming out the pits now, and you can see the overcut, what we did, I think the gap's still pretty much the same, so we didn't lose that much time. I decided to go a lap later because it's on a controller. I know my front wear is mainly just the front tyres are just wearing ever so slightly, about 1% more per lap than it does with the wheel. That's something I've tested myself, and that's the case with pretty much on every track, that the wheel has better tyre wear by about 8 to 10% if you pit on the same lap towards the end of the race, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it does actually make a fair amount of difference, because you'll just get less understeer, and you'll just be 2 or 3 tenths a lap quicker by the end of the race. So I know this is really important now to try and catch Lockdown as quick as possible. As you can see, Evo is talking, I think, yeah, the Flying Finn has actually had a black screen, and he's actually lost the lead. So now NRR Evo is now actually taking the lead, which is basically what was going on there. But as I was saying, we need to catch Lockdown as soon as possible, because towards the end of the race, he's going to have an advantage, and I probably expect him to pull away. Despite us pitting a lap later, his tyre wear is actually going to be better than us at the end of the race. So we really need to get on the back of him as soon as possible, because if I can get within his DRS, I feel I can probably put him under pressure, try and force him into a mistake, and try and get that 4th place And also with Evo having a 10-second penalty, if I can stay within 10 seconds of him, if I get past lockdown and within 10 seconds, that's a podium finish. Because Rosberg, who's ahead of us, is actually doing a different strategy. He hasn't pitted yet, he's actually stayed out on the soft tyre. So the podium is still possibly on the cards, but we really got to push now. As we've been held a little bit slightly, nothing too drastic. We can see there's quite a lot of understeer with that dirty air, and as I said with the setup, I think went a little bit too cautious with the setup. Probably could have ran a lot more of an aggressive setup, which would have given us more speed, a lot harder to control, but I think it would have definitely given us a little bit more speed. But we've been so consistent in this race, and to be honest, I was really happy with how I drove, because we were doing
32.
And Evo told me his tyres, his highest tyre wear is on 32%, ours is on 35%. And yeah, he's got more on the rear. So, as I said, the pad has a lot more front tyre wear on the harder tyres. I think we're going to confirm the tyre wear once again. But you can see now lockdown has started to pull away a little bit. We're on 52 and Evo's on...
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he said. I think he said he was on 59 or something. So about 7% or so difference. And I think his fronts are still within 40 or something as well. It's only my fronts are on 52. But you can see Evo now not really too happy that he's going to lose the win because of what happened. But you can see we're starting to close in on lockdown towards the end. I think we're saving our fuel. Towards the end, we're on 66%. And I don't know if he's on 59%. And that, I think that's for his rear tyres as well. I think his front tyres are on even lower than that. So that's the difference. But I knew that coming into here, we drove really consistent, hitting the 35s pretty much every single lap. We'll be able to see at the end. Closing on lockdown, but he drove a really good race. Only got one warning this race as well, we did, but coming from P9 to P5, I was pretty happy with that, considering didn't just do one session on the Sunday.
No, I'm confused.
I'll definitely take that in a league this competitive as well. So we'll be able to look at our lap times. I've got two warnings actually, one on the first lap. You can see 35s. Literally every lap apart from when we were behind Rosberg, so I felt I couldn't drive any quicker with the setup I had on, or any more consistent as well. But well done to Evo, the Flying Finn, and Surprise Mur, who's on the controller as well. He managed to stick with those guys at the top, so really well done to those guys. Looking forward to Bahrain and my esports race tonight, which is at 8 o'clock, so make sure you watch that. I'm pretty sure most people will on the stream, so thank you for the support recently. I really enjoyed this race and uploading again as well. So thank you so much, and I will catch you at Bahrain. Peace.